Yes, yes, folks, cause you came through today. Yes, yes, folks, cause you came through today. Yes, so y'all know, Vogue just dropped today. And you know, Friday when I dropped that simplicity pattern, I was like, no, 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 no. But Vogue got me saying, yes, 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 yes. So we're going to talk about it. So if that's some content you would like to see, please continue to watch. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Rochelle from Rochelle.Handmade.Designs. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the drop of the Vogue pattern. And yes, 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 you guys know that simplicity was not so hot, right? Vogue is hot. And I'm going to share the ones that I plan on picking up. Now, there are a few that I'm not going to be picking up because where the hell am I going to wear it to? Like, let's be real. But I want to share the ones that I will be picking up first, and then I'm going to share the ones that I will not be picking up as well. Well, I'm going to share, I think it's about 12 that I'm going to share with you, and then I'll also tell you why I will not be picking up the ones that I'm not going to be picking up. All right? So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Hello, Ciao, Guten, Aloha, Hola, Konnichiwa, Gwaan, Sabonani, Shalom, Bonjour, Tarve. If you are returning, you guys know what to do. Go get your quick snack, something to drink, come on back, and we're going to get into it. So without further ado, you guys know what to do. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so not to take so much time, we gonna go ahead and dive right in to this Vogue pattern. So you guys see from the thumbnail, when your girl is smelling from ear to ear like this, you already know what the deal is. Let's go ahead and get into it. So the first pattern, all of these are Vogue, so I'm not going to say Vogue. We're going to go ahead and get into 1981. And this pattern is a knit dress pattern. It's a close-fitting, partially lined dress. It has the ruched detail, concealed side front slit, long sleeves, covered shoulder pads, which are optional, of course, invisible back zipper, back dart, and stitched hem. Now, this is an advanced pattern, so you guys already know. And what type of fabric would you need to use for this? Knit, okay? So I'm not going to go through like every single knit that you need, but you're going to need some form of knit, okay? In terms of sizing, there's two pattern sides. You have 6 to 14 and 16 to 24 on this pattern. I love that ruching. This would be perfect for my holiday party for work. So we're going to hope that they're in Joann's before that Christmas party come, and I could actually do the fitting and all that good stuff. I'll let you guys know. And I might take pictures and show you guys if I make this dress and if I have time to make this dress. All right, let's go ahead and move over to the next one, which is 1982. So for 1982, this is a missus dress. Now this dress is a fitted line cape style dress. It has jewel neckline. It has front waist and bust dart, back princess seams, back slits, and an invisible back zipper. It also have an attached unlined cape, which will have the wrong side showing as well. It also features an invisible back zipper and baby hem. Now for view A, you have the 3/4 length sleeves, which is an option. And then view B is your sleeveless option as well. This is an average to sew pattern. In terms of sizing, it's two sizing. It's 8 to 16 on that first pattern, and then 18 to 26 on the second pattern. Now, in terms of your fabrics, that's what it is called. In terms of fabric, you can use many different fabrics of your choosing. But I would say that this pattern is suitable for your jacquards, your crepe is what I would use, your crepe back satin, your wool blends, and then also make sure you have some form of lining, whether that's your chamois, your China silk, your crepe de chine, just to name a few of the fabrics that you can use. But once again, this is 1982. Moving over to the next pattern is the year that I was established, because y'all know I celebrated my 40th birthday this year. It's 1983. Why not? Right? So let's get into it. So 1983 is a Mrs. dress. So 1983 was a Mrs. dress. It's a fit and flare dress. It's lined and unlined. It's close fitting through the bust and waist. It have bias stand collar, princess seam, side seam pockets, invisible back zipper, hook and eye closure, and invisible hem. Now view A has your long two-piece bishop sleeves, a slit so the lining shows, and then it's ending in a button cuff. Also, it has purchase trim on the collar, and then view B has your long sleeve with the cuffs as well. Now, this is an average to sew pattern. In terms of sizing, it's two pattern sizes, size 6 through 14, and 16 to 24 on that second pattern. Now, in terms of fabric for this pattern, 1983, you can use brocades, linen, shantung, tweed, wool crepe, just to name a few. Make sure you have some underlining, because this is an average sew pattern. So your underlining can be anything like organza, muslin, cotton, just to name a few. And then some type of lining. I would say like a silky type lining like your chemise would be good and perfect for this pattern. Let's go, but this one is 1983. Let's go ahead and get over to the next pattern, which is 1984. So for 1984, it's a Mrs. top. I actually like this top as well. So let's go ahead and get into this pattern. It is a close fitting off the shoulder top. It has bony contrast front inset, two-piece sleeves, and exposed separating zipper at the back. Now view A has that contrast lapel and 3/4 length sleeve. View B has the longer sleeves with the cuff at the bottom as well. Now this is an advanced to sew pattern. In terms of sizing, you have two pattern envelopes, 8 to 16 on the first envelope and 18 to 26 on that second envelope. Now, in terms of your fabrics that you can use for this pattern, same thing, brocade, heavy satin, shantung, wool blend, just to name a few. Now, most of these fabrics, or I should say this pattern collection, is all about the elegant, sophisticated woman. So if you are kind of like your everyday cottons, this may not be the collection for you. Now, you guys know I sew with a lot of woven fabrics, but I do want to say a couple of things. When it comes time, like this time of the year during the Christmas time, I tend to go outside the box because I have a lot of different moving parts with different events I have to attend. Now, a lot of these events I don't post on the channel with, you know, mid-year parties and end-of-year parties and different things, simply because there's other people in most of my photos, and to protect everyone's privacy and the companies that my husband and I work for, I just don't post everything up on the channel when it comes to work. And plus, if you know, when you deal with government and government type work and contracts, you want to keep everything sealed, okay? So if you know, and you guys have asked me before, where do I work? I pretty much never tell you where I work, but I work in the government contract business, okay? So moving on from 1984, let's go ahead and get into 1985. So 1985, this one is a Mrs. Top pattern. For this pattern, it's a semi-fitted twist neck top. It has long bishop sleeves as well. The sleeve openings with continuous lap. It has button cuffs, bust darts, and a baby hem. Now view A has pleated front, and then view B has a plain front, all right? It is an average to sew pattern for this one. In terms of sizing, you have two envelopes, 4 to 12 on the first one and 14 to 22 on that second envelope. Now, in terms of fabrics that you can use for this one, definitely like any fabric of your choosing, chemise is going to be one of those fabrics that you're gonna pretty much use for any of these patterns, along with crepe. Rayons would be good, silk jacquards would be good, chemise would be good. Those are the ones that's going to be like the hit for this collection. If you do not sew with any of those fabric, like I mentioned before, this collection may not be for you, but this is a really good winter 2023 collection, all right? Also make sure that you have some type of lining and some interfacing for this pattern, all right? But once again, this is 1985. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. So the next pattern is 1986. This is a missus skirt. Now this pattern right here, I am definitely on the fence about, simply because I feel like this pattern reminds me of a pattern that I actually did a sew along for, which is New Look 6702. So to be honest, I'm not 100% sure if I would pick up this pattern, but it's definitely a good one that I could potentially see myself picking up. So let's go ahead and get into this pattern. So once again, this pattern is 1986. So for 1986, this is a long semi-fitted bias skirt. It has invisible back zipper, hook and eye closure at the waistband, and a baby hem. Now view A is an evening style length, and then view B is a floor length at the center front and has a train in the back. Now this is an average to sew pattern. In terms of the sizing, you have 8 to 16 on the first envelope and 18 to 26 on that second envelope. In terms of the fabric, crepe, back satin, your four-way crepes, jacquard, just to name a few of the fabrics that you can use. Once again, anything shiny and glittery and fits the bill for a holiday tradition is what you want to use for your fabric choice. All right. Moving over to the next pattern, which this is a pattern that I would not be picking up. It's 1987. So this is a skirt and culotte pattern. Now, I just feel like, to be honest with you, I feel like this one would take a lot of fabric, just to be honest, but we don't know. When we get to JoJo, aka Joanne's, I might decide to pick it up. We will see. All right, but let's get into this pattern. So this is 1987. This is the skirt and culotte pattern that have a waist facing, invisible back zipper, top stitching, side seam pockets, and a hem facing. It is an easy to sew pattern, which is always good for these easy to sew patterns. Sometimes Vogue patterns are not so easy as they claim, but we will see. All right. But in terms of sizing, it's 8 to 16 and 18 to 26 on that second envelope. In terms of fabric choices that you can use for this, you have any type of fabric of your choosing, to be honest with you. You have many different fabrics that you can use. All right. So some of the fabrics that you can use would be your denim, your linen, your twill, your wool blends, just to name a few of the fabrics that you can use for this pattern. All right. But once again, it's 1987, and I'm going to definitely skip over that pattern. Moving over to the next pattern is 1988, which is a pair of missus pants. So for this one, it's a low-rise wide leg pants. It has shaped waistbands with bar tack, hook and bar closure, a fly zipper closure, and an invisible hem. Now view A has a pleated front, side seam pockets, and is loose fitting through the hips. And then view B has your flat front and is fitted through the hips as well. It is an average to sew pattern. In terms of sizing, it's 2 envelopes. The first envelope is 6 to 14, and the second envelope is 16 to 24 on the second envelope. Now, in terms of fabric, you could use cotton twill, crepe, linen blends, and wool blends. Now, for me, I would use cotton twill or stretch woven in order to do these pants. All right, that's just my opinion. All right. But that is 1988. Let's move over to the next pattern, which is 1989. So 1989, this pattern right here is a missus jacket pattern by Marcy Tilton. And this is a loose fitting kimono style jacket. It has front ties, patch pockets, stitched hem, top stitching details, sleeve and length variation. This is an easy to sew pattern. In terms of sizing, it's 1 envelope. It's extra small to extra, extra large for this pattern. Now let's go ahead and talk about fabric. So for fabrics for this one, you can use cotton. Once again, I said cotton. All right. Lightweight wool, linen, rayon challis, just to name a few. Now, even though you could use cotton, I would definitely say you would probably get a good structure if you use rayon challis for this one. You guys know how I feel about rayon. I have a love-hate relationship for it, just to be honest with you. I love rayon, but my skin hates rayon. And what I mean by that is it makes me break out. So I don't use it a lot. And I know you guys got on to me before when I said wool makes me break out as well. And when I talked about leather, you guys was like, how you gonna have leather go? I thought you just said you allergic to it. let me tell you, I keep a barrier between my skin and the fabric, which means I'm not breaking out. All right. So, yeah, some fabrics makes your girl break out. So either I'm creating a barrier between that fabric and my skin, or I'm just not wearing it at all. One or the other. But yes, that's what it is. But this is 1989. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern, which is 1990. So 1990, for this pattern, it is a missus coat. I actually like this coat, to be honest. It's a line coat. It has peak lapels, extended shoulders, shoulder pads, which are optional. Anytime you see shoulder pads, it's always optional, okay? It's a two-piece sleeve, waist dart, front inseam pockets, concealed snap, front closure, and a back vent. And then you have view A. View A has that bow detail that you see there as well. Now, this is an advanced to sew pattern, so make sure you have some skills if you're going to be doing this coat, all right? And then it features two pattern envelopes, 8 to 16 on the first one, and then 18 to 26 on that second envelope. Now, in terms of fabric, now for me, I would definitely say any type of medium to heavy weight fabric. Your woolens, your brocade, your jacquard would be good. Denim would be good. Any type of medium to heavy weight. You do not want to do this coat in a cotton fabric. You can if you stay where I live in Orlando, where it's hot all the time, but come on. Don't say I didn't tell you, all right? Make sure you have some lining fabric for this coat as well, all right? But this is 1990. Let's go ahead and move into the next pattern, which is 1991. So 1991 is a pattern that I myself would not be picking up, but this is the Mrs. Wrap pattern. And for this wrap pattern, it's by Tom and Linda. If you don't know who they are, look it up, all right? But for this pattern, it's a Mrs. Wrap in 3 styles. It have neckline, collar and closure variations. View A has a front hook and eye closure. View B has the contrast neck ruffles, and then it has ties in the front. Now, View C has the slit opening to pull front through. So yeah, this is an easy to sew pattern. Now, let me say this about this pattern. I'm thinking about picking it up, but I probably won't pick it up, to be honest. And this is the reason why. Where in the heck am I going to wear it to? I mean, I don't go to all of these fancy events. I could see this being worn at like New York Frocktails or something like that, or Atlanta Frocktail, which just happened over the weekend. But I don't go to, so my work events, these are not like upscales because I work with a lot of younger people. So I don't see anyone wearing it. So with that being said, I think it's best if I skip over this pattern or pick it up for a later in life situation. I don't know. But yeah, I like it, but I probably won't pick it up. All right. But yeah, so this one right here in terms of sizing, I did mention it's an easy to sew pattern. It comes in one size and it's small to large. All right. So yeah, that's what this pattern is giving. So let's go ahead and get into the next one. It's 1992. So for 1992, this pattern is a Mrs. Jacket, skirt, and pant pattern. This pattern is a semi-fitted line jacket that have bias binding with exposed raw edges, front button closure, side seam pockets, and a long 3-piece sleeve with the mock vent. Now, View A has that purchase trim. Both skirt and pants have the couture waistband, fly front zipper, and side pockets. And then for the skirt has that purchase hem or trim. I'm sorry, purchase trim on the hem. All right, about to say, I know. And then for the pants that you see in View D, it has the invisible hem as well, which is like a blind hem. All right. This is a advanced to sew pattern, so make sure you have some skills for that. In terms of sizing, it's 8 to 16 and 18 to 26 on this pattern. Now, in terms of fabric, now I would definitely say that it might be best if you use some type of tweed. For this one, wood flannel would be good. Linen blends would be good for this pattern. But I would definitely say, like, if you, from the front of the envelope, it looks like a tweed. So I would say definitely use tweed. All right. But this is 1992. Moving over to the next pattern, which is 1993, which is another pattern that me, myself would not be picking up, but it could be a good one for you, which is a Mrs. Jacket and Pant pattern. So let's go ahead and get into it. So 1993 is a Mrs. and Pants pattern. It's fitted crop jacket, have extended shoulders, shoulder pads, which are optional, and a two-piece sleeve. View A has the elbow, below the elbow length sleeves and patch pockets. View B has the long sleeve with working vents and patch pockets with the flaps. And then you have fitted pants. It has the fly front zipper with the hook and bar closure, waist facing, waist darts, and an invisible hem. Now, when you get to view C, which are the pants, you have the purchase trim there as well. So that's what this pattern is given. It is an average to sew pattern. In terms of sizing, it's 2 envelopes. The first envelope is 6 to 14, and that second envelope is 16 to 24 on this pattern. Now, me, I like this pattern, and once again, I cannot see myself wearing this pattern anywhere, but I would definitely use some tweed fabric if you're gonna do this pattern. But once again, it's 1993. Let's go ahead and get over to the next pattern, which is 1994. This is a pattern that I will be picking up. Yay, we got to a pattern that I actually am picking up, which is a jumpsuit. Let's go ahead and get into it. So this is a jumpsuit. It's a loose fitting jumpsuit with belt. It has the front waist pleats, exposed front zipper, pointed collar, front pockets, elastic back waist, not at the front. It's just the elastic is just at the waist in the back. It has the top stitching and the stitched hem. Now, this pattern is an average to sew pattern. I really like this pattern and want to do this pattern. It comes in 2 pattern envelopes. So the first pattern envelope is extra small to medium, and the second one is large to extra large. Now, I would highly advise you to open up the pattern when you get to Joann's for this pattern. Look at those finished garment measurements, because what you don't want to do is get a large because you feel that you're large, and then you really need the extra small to medium pattern. Don't be one of those people where it's like, I don't want to look at the pattern. 2 things that I have been learning. Well, I should have learned this a long time ago, but 2 things I have been seeing with the new drops. The Simplicity, I picked up Simplicity 9826. That pattern didn't have the instructions in it. I'm not saying that someone stole it, but I am saying someone stole it out of the pattern. All right. So that happened. And then also, if you guys remember the new look, I think it was new look 6649 or something like that. It was wrong on the pattern envelope. So what was in the pattern inside the pattern was not what it was on the pattern envelope. They took like the old new look and basically used the same number and did not upgrade it. If you know what I mean. If you know, you know. You've seen it on Instagram, right? When I posted it on Instagram. So 2 things that I will definitely say when you are picking up patterns. 2 things. Make sure that the tissue is what's on the pattern envelope. And then make sure that your instructions are also in the pattern envelope. You're welcome. Don't do like I did 2 sales ago and then picked up some patterns, and then 2 of the patterns don't have the envelope, or what's in the content inside the pattern is not what it is. Okay. So yeah, just make sure you check when you go to JoJo, aka Joann's. All right. Moving over to the next pattern. So this pattern is 1995. This is a men's jacket. Now, the men's pattern, I will not be picking up, but I can tell you it's a men's jacket. It's a fitted jacket with a pointed collar. It has separating front zipper, welt pockets, and a long 2-piece sleeve with turn up hem. So when you turn up the hem, the reverse side will show. So just be mindful of that. View A and View B jacket have the contrast band, top stitching, and hem turned up and stitched in place on the outside, which means that the wrong side will be showing. So be mindful of that. View A has the contrast faux fur collar as well if you want that detail. But this is 1995. I will not be picking it up for myself. But let's go ahead and move into the last pattern that I will not be picking up, which is also a man pattern, which is 1996. So for 1996, this is a men's pair of pants. And for this pattern, it's a slim fit, tapered leg pants. It sits on the hips, but have a fly front zipper, belt carrier, side front pockets, and welt pockets on the back. View A has your pleated front. View B has a flat front and cargo pockets with the button flap. This is an average to sew pattern as well in terms of the sizing. It's your normal sizes, which is the first pattern is 34 to 42 and the second pattern is 44 to 52. That's the normal standard sizing for most of the men patterns, all right? But once again, it's $19.96. I will not be picking up this pattern because I don't need any more men's pattern in my stash because I don't sew for my husband, all right? Well, that's it in terms of the Vogue fall patterns. I am just curious to which ones were your favorite, which ones you will be picking up. Chime off in the description box below and let me know which ones you will be picking up when they are in your store. Also, if your store is tons of miles away, meaning like you have to drive an hour, I would advise you to wait until they are on sale on the Simplicity website and pick them up then. Here's the reason why. Because if you have to drive an hour to get to Joann's and then an hour back to your house, how much are you really saving instead of just purchasing them from Simplicity and have the bag sent directly to your house? And you save you one, gas, and then two, the patience of possibly not having them there in your store, okay? Because some Joann's do not put them out as fast as others, all right? Well, that's it and my time for these Vogue Winter 2023 patterns. I hope you enjoyed this sit down of what's in this Vogue collection and my thoughts. Let me know what you think about this Vogue pattern, these Vogue patterns as well. All right. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. And since you made it this far, do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe button. Also smash that notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. So I'll catch you in the next video. And as always, keep sewing.